Thank you for staying with us. We are still talking Ondo State, and we have spoken to two candidates. Now we're talking to spokespersons of two other parties, and it's our pleasure to welcome the PDP's campaign spokesperson, Mr. Ayo Fadaka. Good morning.
Good morning.
As well as the APC campaign spokesperson, Mr. Banji Okuomo.
Good morning. Good morning.
My question to you, Mr. Fadaka, is INEC, through its chairman, has said that they are ready for Saturday's elections and they are going to ensure that things are done as they should be done. How much, oh my God, that chuckle was telling, but I will still ask you the question. How much confidence do you have in what INEC has said?
Well, now we are helpless and we are restricted to believing what INEC is saying, in the sense that the INEC that we used to know, because I knew after President Yar'Adua became president, he complained about INEC, that it was not a fair organization, and took steps to rebut INEC. President Jonathan continued in that same stead. What Jonathan did is even more exemplifying in the sense that he contested an election which he lost and obeyed and respected the result of that election. Thereafter, INEC has somersaulted, or rather INEC did somersault to a very terrible state, to the extent that people no longer accord INEC any dignity. In view of what happened in Edo during the last election, thereafter we went campaigning. Each time we would go on field to campaign to the people of my dear state, the people will say, we will vote for you, but ensure that INEC does not steal your vote. And thereafter, we now came back home. We took a look at INEC. We took a very, very serious look at the fellow who sits atop of INEC in Ondo State. Of course, myself and Tony Babala, we were in Ife at the same time, friendly to a level. We discovered that the fellow that is INEC commissioner in Ondo State is indeed a citizen of Ondo State, an indigenous of Ondo State. And why do I say this? He was born, raised, lived, went up to Abuja to work, came back and was living in Ondo State and continued to live in Ondo State until she was appointed as INEC resident electoral commissioner. We know the address of the family house, which I cannot say on here. Her parents live in Akure. They've always been living there. They continue to live there. And when she retired, she came back to live with them. So as far as we do care, if anybody has stayed or was born in a state and has lived his or her entire life in that state, that fellow is indeed from that state. That is why people like my very good friend, Rita Oji, could have gone to the House of Reps from Lagos State, in view of the fact that her name does not say that she's from here. So INEC as an organization must care about how people perceive it. We were trying to help INEC. We told INEC, this woman is from here. Take her elsewhere. Bring anybody at all that is detached.
In other words, you don't have total confidence in INEC?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
And this
Mr.
is based in view of
your thoughts about INEC's preparedness.
Well, as a matter of fact, we as a political party, we are battle prepared in terms of preparation, in terms of readiness to win the election. And we are so confident that we're going to win the election because politics or democracy is about number, it's about people. It's not about unnecessary brickrings or unnecessary muscle slinging in the national newspaper or in the television. We believe that power belongs to the people. As far as the INEC is concerned, we as a body, we are not concerned about individuals that are running INEC. INEC is a juridical body. Juridical in the sense that it's guided by law, and they know their law. They have their own set out rules and regulations that regulate their internal workings. I read that as part of their policy, if anyone is from a particular state and election is going to be conducted in that state, such an individual will not be posted to that state. Now, from the response of INEC to the PDP's allegation, because the first allegation came from the governor of your state, when he raised it as an alarm that the woman in question is from Ondo state. INEC dug deep into their record, and they came up to say, no, the record with us is that the woman in question is not from Ondo state. So, yet, the PDP moved away from that first narrative of where she comes from. They now went to the issue of residency. Now, residency, any Nigerian, wherever you are born in Nigeria, you can reside in any part of the country. It's not a barrier as to determine where you are going to be posted. You are working under a federal establishment like INEC. The issue of naturalization only applies to non-Nigerians, not to Nigerians. If you have domiciled in Nigeria for a very long time, you can get naturalized. Now, the PDP, they are trying to apply the principle of naturalization to Nigerian indigene. So they are not saying that, oh, the woman stayed in those, therefore she's likely to be biased. Now the question to now put across is that if, assuming without considering that the woman resided in Ondo state, are we saying that, oh, it is only APC that will have access to the woman in question? Or are we saying that the PDP are not in Ondo state, they are coming from another state? So because they are insinuating that it is only APC that is in Ondo state, oh, the woman is likely going to be biased. So let us call a spade a spade. I say the PDP has been very, 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 very preposterous in their conduct, in the way and manner they raise issues without basis.
They're very what?
Preposterous. They ridicule the system, they ridicule the operations, they seem to not have anything to offer other than to continue to castigate the system. If you are saying you have no confidence in the INEC at this hour, it is an indication of defeat. It is a sign of fear, and it goes a long way to say that they are not ready for that. And I make more to say that the PDP is not ready for the election.
Because if APC says PDP is not ready for election, some other candidates also say APC and PDP are old cargoes that must be discarded by the people.
Is only okay. Go ahead.
No, you were going to say something.
Yes, is only an issue of sometimes ill-informed opinions that people prefer here and there. Continuing from where I stopped. We are saying that as a party, we are not scared of the election. We are only scared of the safety of the resource of that election. We care enough to be sure that when we go into the elections, beavers machines will not be preloaded. We care enough to say that collation centers will not be moved from one place to the other. We care enough to say that security agencies will not collaborate with any political party to shortchange the system. You see, we are guided, as a party, we are guided about events that happen, even contemporary events. The last Edo election, you will discover that we were not complaining about INEC until after the last Edo election. After the last Edo election, when PDP was already coasting home, and the IRF portal itself was confirming that fact, coalition was halted abruptly for no reason. No given reason till tomorrow. A particular police officer, a DC, went into coalition and parked coalition outrightly and took it to the INEC headquarters. And once they got there, agents of other parties were not allowed access into where the votes are. That is compromising the election. Of course, today, as we stand in Ondo State today, we will beat APC hands down, because in actual fact, they do not have what to campaign on. And if you ask me why, this is a party that has been that for the last 8 years have been constructing less than 10-kilometer roads within Akure Township, and the roads remain uncompleted. This is a party that can no longer sustain the health facilities in the state. You enter any Ondo State owned hospital today, they are dead. This is a party that even went to the level of introducing fees by whatever guys into our secondary schools and increasing fees at university level, the state-owned universities, to the level, close to something that is obtainable in private universities now. This is a party, again, that we still, at this point at this time of the year, still approve for the reprinting of the 2024 diary. That is to say, everything they do is corruption propelled. And the people of the state know. They know this fact. Look, Banji here that is speaking is a trans-party person. He was in my party. People like Banji move from one party to the other based on what particular designs they have for that moment. So he is not even an APC person to the core.
Mr. Banji, I'm sure you have a few things to say
I love when Uncle Fadaka is my very senior one. I hold him on a very high esteem. I keep holding him on an argument that there's nothing like party. It's about that individual who leads. The candidate of PDP today, he was the deputy governor to the immediate past governor of our state for 4 years before he was removed by the governor. Now, he's now candidate of, before joining PDP, he defected from PDP to Zenith Labour. Before coming to PDP, he was APC, from APC to PDP, and from PDP to Zenith Labour Party, and from Zenith Labour Party back to PDP. Now, the question is, what has changed of him? Is it now that the APC in his blood is lost totally? Now the blood running in his system is that of PDP. That is a blatant lie. I am saying that.
He is not answering your question.
No, I'm answering the question. You are saying that you are not in the position to determine whether I'm answering the question or not. I will let the premise before I say something. I'm a lawyer. And what I'm saying in a nutshell is that you cannot continue to say, oh, one party destroys it, one party destroys it. Tell us, the person you are bringing aboard, he has the capacity to deliver. You can have a limousine or a Bentley, and you get a bad driver. The driver cannot drive it well. And let me say, most of the things they have said about whether APC has not done anything in those states, that Governor Lokayi that you are. Governor Lokayi that came aboard December 27 as the governor. He was deputy governor. And between that time and now, we can count a number of things which he has done and that have endeared him toward the good people of Ondo State. He was talking about the education sector. The education sector, what the Governor Lokayi has done in that area, I can continue to mention. For example, 3.5 billion was committed and released for the revamping of the primary schools in Ondo State in order to activate the primary system. Not only that, this governor, in the last 10 months, released the sum of 1.2 billion to Olusegun Agagu University, which is our own indigenous university. Our people used to complain that that university was not well funded. But under the year that he has funded the university, and the university is active now. In the same government, in the last 10 months, Governor Ayetatiwa released the sum of 1 billion naira to revamp University of Medical Sciences. Okay. In this same, I said that the government has not done anything. In that same government, bursaries have been paid.
Okay, we don't have much time.
We don't come here to come alive.
We are running out of time, and we have to go in 1 minute.
Wow.
So, what do you want to leave with the good people of Ondo State today regarding next week's election?
Now, in Ondo State, what I want to leave to them is that We own our destiny as a people in Ondo State. It is our duty and responsibility as a people, because the democracy is about the people, to determine how our future will be properly molded. And how our future will be molded is about sustainability of programs. Now, the governor in Ondo State is APC, and the governor at the central is APC. Okay. We cannot afford to go into opposition in Ondo State. Okay. There was a time we were in opposition and we lost it. Okay, we can't go into opposition.
Yes, but it's amusing listening to his litany of lies.
Your message to the people of Ondo in closing.
Well, my dear people in Ondo State, we have come this far and we have seen how hard and deceitful it has been. We have seen a governor within the space of 10 months that took 125 billion naira. More than what Agagu took in 4 years, more than what Mimiko took in 4 years, and has done nothing with that money. We have seen a governor that approved the renovation of an office within an office complex for 90 million naira. And not a load of sand has been dropped where that renovation is happening. We have seen a governor that Banji said released 3.5 billion to revamp primary schools. And not a single work is going on in the dilapidated primary schools across that dot the landscape of the state. Enough of this litany of lies.
Mr. Ayo Fadaka, PDP campaign spokesperson, and we also had Honorable Banji Okwomo, APC campaign spokespersons. All we can do is now wish you and your principals luck next week, Saturday.
We need the luck. They don't deserve it.
No, the PDP, they have no candidates.
Thank you very much for being with us. Sunrise will be right back with another interesting conversation. Do remain with us.